All right, good morning traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live order flow analysis today with stocks trader JTrader. All right, good morning traders, and welcome to the Bookmap. He is going to go through how he looks at the market and learn how to read and potentially trade order flow based off his professional stance in the markets here, what he's exactly looking for with his trading strategies, how to optimize entries, exits, and your trade management. You guys know who JTrader is. He's been trading for quite a while, and he's been with us for a number of years now. So every Wednesday, and see how he looks at the markets here. I have his contact information. I'll put this into the chat if you want to reach out to him if you're interested in these strategies. Trading stocks resonate with you. You can reach out to JTrader. Let's go through the risk disclosures and we'll jump in here. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in here and take a look. We're looking at the S&P, and JTrader will be in just a minute. He's working with his own customers, but he'll be jumping in soon. All right, so guys, this what does this look like down here right off the bat? It's a strong move down. We had 10 o'clock data here. You can see, you can even understand in the order flow why we had data here. You don't have to even look at your news feeds. Okay, I'll ask that question, like why is that, and then what kind of pattern is this right here, and why would we be looking for buyers to try to take it back up to here at 40.80? So right off the bat, a couple questions for you guys. Good morning, Prickly. Yeah, fast moving market. Hey, FOMC later. So no, not exhaustion. Cajun Trader, good one though. That's an important one, but there's not exhaustion here. And let's see over in Discord how we doing. Everyone can hear me and see my screen, right? Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so just about at 40.80 already. Anyway, this is we're looking at this is a double bottom pattern here. Okay, well, we covered patterns yesterday. A triple bottom. Actually, this is more like maybe a triple bottom pattern. And a nice understanding in here, though, like, why we thought that this might come back up and retest 80. It may come up a little bit higher, but I don't see that happening at the moment here. All right, so we'll have to kind of read and zoom in here and look at the order flow. Makes sense. We're getting a bounce here at 77 right now. This is really the key, though, right now in the order flow. Do we get buyers up here? A little bit. What about the order book? No, not really seeing it. There's more liquidity at a lower level here. It's trading our 80 level. I'm not looking for it to bounce up into 82 right now. I'm actually looking for a retest to 77 and then maybe back down to 75. Here's why. Okay, so and we're going to cover this little move, then we'll cover what the original question was. Here's why. Is that here's our stronger move. Look at the buying up here. Okay, at this area where sellers came in, we would look for a pullback. And then we came back up here and we got a few buyers. Okay, but not really enough. And now it's looking a little bit better on the buy side. Okay, higher low and buyers in here, but not. We need to get it up here at 80. Okay, so there's some exhaustion. We're finding buyers. Okay, let's see them take on 80. And then we can get our breakout up into 82. Okay, now this is really small time frame stuff. There they go. Okay, looking for these buyers to try to take it higher. 81 and 82. Would love to see Now we have some buying up here. It's not bad. Love to see the order book. Okay, we got a little bit of it here. We didn't get much out of it though. What would have helped us to look for a higher probability move up into 82 here would to see the order book bid up in these areas in here, and you can see a little bit, right? It just wasn't that great. It was more down here. We want to see it up here. When we get that and you get buyers, it looks great for it to continue higher. All right, so we look for follow through in those cases. Now get back to the original question. So again, right now, like I don't really like it. We're not getting all of those pieces here together in the order flow. So you know, hands off, right? If we get another rotation back up here and we do get those buyers, yeah, we can get not only 82, we can get up higher. Anyway, let's go through question number 1. And let me show you also in our YouTube channel the review of the webinar here from yesterday. Okay, so it's down here under our YouTube page, live streaming recordings. This one here, triple bottoms and candlestick patterns. Go back and watch some of this in here. We went into detail talking about the variations in a triple bottom. All right, now this is kind of like a triple bottom here. I called it more of a double bottom, but let's look at the pieces in here and the variations and why we thought buyers would come in and move it up to 80. Okay, and just 80 right now. We're not looking for a big reversal right now. We're just looking for these buyers in here, down here around 76, to move it on up to about 80. Okay, now you can see that they are continuing here. We are getting some follow through. Look, there we are at 82. Let's see if they can now break out up into 85, 86 maybe. Okay, so we're getting the buyers here. We're looking for that order book in here, so light up on the bid for them to pull this liquidity in these areas here and for us to come back up into 86. Okay, not seeing it right now. We're getting some buyers here, but that's going to be a stop run in here too above this range. So not quite seeing it yet, but if we went with the order flow, we're looking for it to go higher still. Okay, we might get a false breakout here. Let me go through that scenario quickly because it might unfold here. All right, and that would be sellers down here. This is what we'd be looking for. All right, big red dots down here. All right, and then they'll pull that market down to the bottom of this range, and then maybe even down to here, or even the low here, you know, down in this area. All right, so different scenarios here, and then we look for the order flow to give us insight to which scenario will likely play out. All right, so anyway, let's go through this again. That's the live market. This original question in here, what does this double bottom pattern look like here? Okay, well, we had data here, strong move, strong pullback, but more sellers, strong move down again on the sell side. Look at the buying in here. Right, so we have a cluster of buying up here, and we come back down here and we do see one seller, you know, a lot of sellers here. Right, here's our second scenario, guys, playing out just beautifully. Right, and this is where, you know, you start to see this. You know, this is where you'd be looking for potentially when you see this confirmation on that sell side, and you know this is a false breakout here, this is where you're getting the confirmation in here, right? And this is where you're playing it down to take some off. Okay, that swing, just like that. Right, so that's like a 3-point move or so, and then you can hold for your runner to see if it continues on down into these lower areas. Right, so there's some trade management and some trade setups for trading this action in here. Okay, it's not a trade recommendation. It's about learning about reading order flow and putting that together into a potential plan for yourself. This is something you'll have to study and do on your own. Let's see, here's Joseph in here yet? He should be jumping in pretty quickly. All right, I'm sorry guys, let me jump back, get to this double bottom here. All right, so we have a cluster of buying up here, right? Let's get the pen out. That's good. We have our buying up in here. All right, now do we have a lot of selling in here? It's not bad, right? And not bad here too. So we do have some selling in here, but we got a cluster up here of buying. All right, so what we're looking for is, like, this is basically kind of a false breakdown right here in this area. This is your false breakdown, and we got buyers here on the other side, and they're lifting it. Okay, this is your trap, especially down here, this is your trap. And we're finding buyers here. We know there's already buying interest up here. That's why we're looking for them to come up to here and retest it. All right, so that was the kind of overall aim in this move up to 80. Okay, makes sense. It was due to
makes sense, Bruce. Good morning, buddy. Welcome back.
Thank you. Wonderful to be back, and I love it. So guys, anyway, just keep this in mind. We'll go over these patterns more. We got JTrader here. Let's jump in and go over some stocks with Joseph. So let's see, are you sharing your screen, Joseph? Yes.
Yes. Let me know if you can see Bookmap.
Yes.
All right. So traders, I just entered over here in a position this morning, and we're gonna cover what we did. Market is very volatile, so I really like this market. I just entered over here in a position this morning on eBet, and I shared the position in the room so that you can see my fills. What about eBet? One of the small caps that we trade this morning was trading mainly this, yes, Tesla, and MGAM. eBet, we have a 12 million float. It's a stock with a very low market cap. Market cap is small market cap, 16 million. We have only one history over here in the past, and this faded on day one. Average 5-day time was 9:32. So we can put this bigger here. This is a stock, so you can understand, traders, right away what kind of stocks we're trading, right? All the way down, all list here. I was looking this morning for levels to trade. The plan was to attack the level of the pre-market high area. And this is one of the classic patterns that I trade called gap and crab. I start finding over here levels where we had some resistance, but you can see the liquidity in the past was very small. So we didn't have a lot of high volume areas to trade into. Therefore, the main plan was done using the intraday time frame and looking for patterns in order to flow. I started looking into this extension at the open. This is the 9 o'clock bar on hourly chart. And as usual, I have as reference the $half numbers, 250, whole dollar numbers, $2. Of course, I had 3. The main point is to find the correct timing. As you can see here, traders, we have a stock that hit high volume. So we had bars, even if it was a 1 minute stock, of around 1.7, 2 million volume bars. And this is the first dip that we had at the gate. This dip is a bear trap. So we have the smart money or the big hands over here triggering breakdown. And this is one of my favorite patterns to see morning reversals, okay? So at this point here, we can use this. You can see that we go exactly to break that previous level over here, right? This level. So here we form a bear trap. also called what? Let's see if somebody knows it. A sell stop. For which reason? By the way, I'm short all morning on Tesla. I will share over here the trades that I took. Actually, I already shared in the room of Bookmap as well, in Alert and Trade in small cap. So when we have the open and you're trading small caps, especially small caps, you will see manipulation, algorithms hitting all over, bulls and bears fighting, especially retailers. But the main hands, okay, the big hands who control over here, or say the flow, is going to try to trap traders and try to push the setup as they want. And I will explain what I mean. By the way, over here, traders ask me, what are the targets for eBet? So we're trading over here a gap and crab. So I'm staying for now a target of at least 140, 150. Second target will be 110. Okay. At the gate, so I can share better with Bookmap. Remember that level that I just shared, okay? So we have over here this open, 930, and you can see this wash. You see that dot? That is exactly what the smart money wants to do with you, okay? They're going to over here trap because it is there in the agenda to push us higher, okay, guys? And I don't want to see, when I trade, any of the traders I teach, I mentor to short weakness. In the weakness, we buy. At the tops, backside, we short. This stock, I finished over here to comment bet before going Tesla. We have no history, as we said, of high volume resistance areas. We have a daily level that I trace around 260 and 220. And we can look also into the dilution of this company, okay? So as we said, we have a small float. This company has no cash. This company has
Joseph,
warrants.
I think your screen might be stuck. I'm not sure. I'm looking at, okay, no, you're good. You're good.
I went back over here to this level because I'm going to explain 930, Bruce.
Okay.
And, but tell me, in case I will have like some problem of connection. So we have warrants of on eBet at 5. We have warrants at higher prices. We have also a shelf around 5 million left, and I'm reading this with into the filings. And so we know there's a stock that has no cash or very low cash, and the stock has to survive, right? And at the same time, the stock has a ton of dilution. One last thing, when I do my plan, is I start looking on Bookmap before the open if we have already levels of liquidity. I can see one level of liquidity over here, 2. So I know that 2 will stall the tape. And I believe that Bruce will agree with this. So it will basically give you an idea of where the big hands are sized, okay, or placed. This is 930. And I'm not jumping in the trade over here, short or long. My thesis this morning was to capture Tesla, which I did. Then I see a main support at 120. Just at the gate, we see another resistance at $2. A few minutes later, we see a major resistance 250. And then later on, we'll see one at 3. This remains intact for the entire session and still now. So the main target on this trade that I have 249 and something on 2 accounts, 249 average, it has this target 120. If you look at how the stock performs at that $2, you have a pullback. This doesn't mean that $2 will be the top and this will fade. But at $2, we have over here a pullback in momentum. And you can see that we have a min absorption. And we start like, flipping down over here, about 15, 20 cents. Then it pushes. If you see over here, this space means it halted. So this halted for about 5 minutes. It resumed. After the resumption over here, went from 239 around 260s. And you can see right away it dumped. And then I found another support, which was the previous resistance, $2. And I became lateral. This is the zone over here, all this, where I shorted. Risking the 260. My first idea was risking 250, but I wanted to give a little bit of wiggle room, and I tried to size in as much as I can around the 250 area. These pops are the ones that convinced me that we are going to fail. And I'm going to point out the reason. So you can see that right away we move up over here. This is a half DALT, okay, around 951. We came down lower high, and then we start putting over here some levels of liquidity, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we start topping over here the action. And these pops can never reclaim the previous high, 250, 260. And I was alerting over here, traders, we have a huge amount of selling pressure around 240, 250. This gives me conviction to enter and hold the trade. And of course, I still will have a risk, being that I trade 240 or 250, risking 260 to 65. But if I calculate the risk-reward ratio based on my patterns, based on the main liquidity area that we had this morning, it's 120, so I'm risking something like 15 cents to make something like $1.20, $1.30. I took only one cover, 30%, around 191, as I know. That's my first target. You can get over here and just look at what I post over here in the boiler room or stocks. And now we're simply enjoying this trade. One of the main points of reading liquidity and levels of liquidity is always spotting who is in control in that exact moment of the momentum. What I mean by that, if we are looking over here, this point, and before over here, we were looking this with Bruce, we can see traders, this dip that you can see on Bookmap, it's around 138. So this dip tells me essentially one thing, that we are having a breakdown. But right away, if you look at how this price section over here works, we dip below that support. So the support you can see over here on the chart, right? This gray area. And as soon as we have that, we start having what? A reclaim of that resistance now becoming support. We start consolidating over here, and you can see this cup pattern with a break of 144, 145. That's a reversal pattern. And it's a reversal pattern that you will see, at least I probably saw from starting the year 20 times. The last one that I saw was actually on Tesla a few days ago. And I really like to trade it because it gives me a low risk and a possible great risk-reward ratio. Sorry, I'm drinking something, actually some glutamine and BCA. It really keeps my mind, and carnitine really keeps my mind going when I'm trading. A little bit of coffee. All of this move over here was essentially full of manipulation. Algos over here breaking down supports on purpose. Trap, again, first of all, bulls, making them stop out. And also inviting shorts to jump in, thinking that this was the easy fail. Nothing of this. The big main agenda, looking to push as high as possible to the daily area. Back to the daily. Was saying before, 260 this morning. So I can get back over here to the watch list. This is my watch list. I made over here at 857. Daily level 220, 260. Gap and crap to short for ADF. ADF means all day fail. Okay. So looking at this pattern, traders, I don't actually want to look for a long. I only said beware of the volume, because volume is the main essence to understand, together with order flow, the direction of the move. And you can see this 260 that I alerted and 220 for certain reasons. So we're gonna cancel this. So remember I said 220, 260. The daily level doesn't lie. I was seeing the support over here. It's just a technical support, right? And this is called point of intersection. So it's a level that I love to use when I'm trading stocks. And we can see that it was the main dip and the main resistance at 260. The other level that I was alerting this morning was 220, was this level over here. Why? Dip over here and the top over here. So when the stock started to fly, because this was really flying up from yesterday, something like 150%, I believe this is what you can call fly. We can understand over here. I'm gonna write over here. So bull trap, no. Bear trap. So we have a bear trap, sell stop, short invited to jump in. I cannot write, right? To jump in. And this is the main theory for the agenda big hands have in mind. The point is to control the flow and rip it using liquidity provided by short sellers for a major squeeze. Is it clear, guys? This is the agenda. Okay? This is the agenda. Then over here, remember that we have a few things. Dilution. So we have a shelf. We have warrants. What does it mean? We're going to try to raise, right? They are going to try to raise as much as they can, being they have low cash available. Right? So knowing this, traders, we're gonna start to understand, first of all, the dynamics over here of the stock. And knowing this, we're gonna look to or long at the exact price using order flow, and then attacking short when we will have a bull trap and I would say a short trap over here. Okay, the less short trapped, less short covering is the best moment where to trigger your trade. So this is that plan over here. The bear trap is this one. And over here, you can see how they move basically up. Makes sense, guys?
Yeah, great stuff, Joseph. I think it's very clear. If anyone has any questions, please, this is the time to get it out and ask, because some of this terminology here and understanding order flow and rejection here, like a bear trap, the market tested there, it got people going short or stopped them out, and then it reversed heavily. Understanding this phenomena in the order flow is essential. When you understand it, you can trade it.
Exactly. And that's the reason why a trader the other day was asking me the difference, Jay, Is it more important to have a read of tape or the read of the order flow? Well, the tape, I still use the tape. I teach the tape. But looking at your level 2, in the moment that we had the bull trap, I couldn't know if at $2 or eventually $2.50, I had liquidity placed. I don't have a level 3. I'm not an institutional. The best resource I can have is read and order flow, which will give me a clear read where to wait for the exact price to start looking for a short. Rather than that, I can have my daily levels, but without volume, daily levels mean nothing. So it's the combination or confluence of signals to give me the better risk-reward ratio possible for my trade.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Joseph, I've got some new tools I've got to demo for you as well. I think you're really gonna
Okay,
like
always sounds surprised, Bruce.
them.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Exactly, exactly. So,
All right, guys. So I'm gonna move on over here to the actual price section that we're having in this moment over here
we
on.
do have, Joseph, a good question here from Morgan about explaining. Can you explain shorting after halts? What is your game plan, thought process when coming out of a halt? What would make you not want to short after this halt? It's a really good question. I actually had something similar uh, after watching some of your videos or analysis.
Okay, we're gonna do this. So this is the level of halt over here. You can see traders 945, 950. So band over here, halt at 239. Generally, we have halts of 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It really depends. Price section is here, 240. You can see on Bookmap on the left, we have the sideline. And I'm gonna just put over here 2 seconds, this, 1 second. So this time is 950s. Okay, so I'm gonna share what I do on the halts. First of all, I mark my level of halt over here. Same that we have on Bookmap, okay? The second thing is I start looking for the next daily level. Remember what we had, 260. This from the watch list at 8:57 a.m. East, New York time explained. At the open, I'm looking for 2 main price action scenarios. If we take this bar and we try to understand how this bar went, this is the halt level, the bar opened and it dipped, and then it made a process of push, and then on the next bar, we opened, it popped, and it started to fail. And then we broke this low, and we start to unwind. So we can see that after the gate, we held the halt level zone, and we start pushing it. So in this case, I rather wait than taking a starter. In my case this morning, you can see the chart that I posted in the with all the processing, smoke improvement. Also, I posted in Bookmap. I put the screenshots. I took some feelers over here, less than 10%. I was waiting over here to see a major stuff because of the daily level, and then I had a confirmation with this point over here. So this is what I essentially call pop and fill. If you hear me calling a pop and fill at the gate after halt, means that I'm highly interested in shorting the stock for a reason of a halt down or an unwind. So main points, halt level, daily level next to the halt, looking for the price action, looking for lower highs, never reclaim of the relative high of the period, and then simply unwind. We're short from the 249s, risking 265s, taking the first partial over here in the 190s, pretty good risk reward ratio. And now looking traders for the low over here is 0.86. 0.9 is 0.86. We had the 120, but if you recall over here, the 120, it simply went away and they canceled this 120. So we'll see if they rejoin with the 120 or possibly they move over here 160, 165. Any questions on EBAT? You're free to ask over here.
I don't see any questions yet. No, I think you got it.
Okay. Next one of the morning, we can look at MGAM, but this is my tool, Tesla. So plan this morning. Even here, I share my chart, traders. This morning, I shorted exactly where I'm pointing, and I covered down here. And then I simply waited over here. No more trades. I reshorted over here around 173 and 35, covered down here, and now I'm simply waiting. I'm going to explain a few things for the big cap traders. So who's looking into trade Tesla on a daily basis. And we're going to look through the price section in the next 30 minutes together. And if you have questions, please reach out. So what you can tell me about the price action over here? How is Tesla today versus how it was yesterday or the days before? No range and no trend. A day that Tesla is trending is this day over here. We're talking about the 27th. Is this day over here? We're talking about the 30th. Is this day over here? We're talking about the 1st, the 31st. Today we are stuck in a range, at least for now, with essentially the weekly point of control, 172, acting as a main support, and the pivot point over here at the 177, working as a main resistance. Okay. Now, what I did today was essentially looking for a fill of the gate and looking for a structure that I like, which is very similar to what we traded on eBet. Okay. So the open, we had one thing. We had a major pop. You can see here, traders. This is 930. We have a major pop. These level I traced from pre-market. So we can see that right away we go to this level and start rejecting. Next bar, we take out this previous bar. So this bar becomes over here an engulfing, becomes over here an outside bar of this one, and then unwinds. Where to the previous support that again, these levels I traced from the pre-market or previous days. Consolidation here. So essentially 950. We're starting to hold over here this low. And I was looking, so I'm going to put this up. And I was looking over here at this level here. So it doesn't mean simply have Bookmap and I will join over here along because there's support. But that together with the read over the flow, price action, together with my chart patterns over here, okay, that can become a potentially good sign for me of a reversal. If you see over here, we have what I call a stair-step down pattern. So we can see the price being guided down, and we have a contraction over here, the volume. So the volume gets contracted. You can see over here that by 950, there's a contraction of volume, right? This is a contraction. So it means that they're gonna possibly look for an explosion of volume if we take one of the two directions. Wedge, okay? This is a wedge formed by lower highs and higher lows. At a certain point over here, look at this liquidity that is guiding down, okay? I believe this is a good algo over here. Like somebody is really using this as a main tool to guide the price where he wants, and I believe that possibly he's loading over here long. So this is a nice structure over here to start ripping off retailers, right? Let them do what they what the big ends want. So over here we have a stair-step down pattern, right? And we're gonna put this over here, 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 and here. And at a certain point, we cancel that and we start putting that dip. So we can put out two things over here. Over here, we're gonna put, so algo pushing down price, stair, step down pattern. Yeah, no. Let's see if I can take off only this. No. I'm gonna re-put it back. Algo pushing down price. Stair step down pattern. Right here we can see on Bookmap. So algo topping out price and then pushing back down, okay? So pushing down the price over here. At a certain point over here, we have the, I believe, the shift of bias from short to long. And we don't see anymore the main seller. So there's a big possible over here. There's a big possibility that over here, big hands accumulate now at these lows using the algo to push down liquidity. That's a very, very good, change over here of bias, okay? So we have over here the price that is pushing first down, and then over here we have the price pushing back up. So shift of bias over here.
So Joseph, if when you're finished, keep these charts up. I have some comments to make. Excellent,
okay.
Excellent example.
I will post over here in the Bookmap room.
Perfect.
So this is our trend line. And traders, it's always like, obvious when you trace a trend line, right? And how many times you have to trace a trend line and then the trend line doesn't work? And it's true, because I can make a trend line in 50 or 100 different ways. And sometimes it will be perfect. Sometimes it will be like, wow, that didn't work, and then finally that worked. So what I have to do? In this case, the trend line means nothing if I don't have over here the read of the order flow that you can see on Bookmap. So look the move over here. So this is essentially, and this is perfect. If you read this is a big hand, ideally an algorithm. They're pushing down on purpose over here the liquidity. Because in my way of thinking this, they're not really selling. In my way of thinking, they're more over here collecting at these prices. So accumulating for then clearing that liquidity they were putting and then just like squeezing everybody. That's the most beautiful way to make money in the market if you're a big hand. Okay? So over here, we're going to put an example, and then we're going to cover a few questions with Bruce. So we're going to put over here 2 points. This is the first point. Okay, we're going to put it like this. 1 and then 2. And now we're going to put 1, and we're going to write about the 1. So the 1 we have the big hands using algos to push down price and inviting traders to sell their position or their size, their shares. 2, at the same time, we believe that big hands are accumulating with this stair-step down pattern at lows, tons of liquidity, for then basically canceling their offers and squeezing out. So what is the outcome? Short squeezed, longs are stopping out, and the big hands have simply a very good risk-reward ratio. So I'm uploading now this. This is how you read manipulation. Okay? I'm going to put it here in Bookmap. So this is the way, let me put over here. Tesla manipulation with Bruce. Any question, Bruce, you were saying, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, side by side examples like this is just beautiful. I mean, like, this is why I'm passionate about this product. Look how much it helped you here. Look how much it told you what's actually happening in the market, and look how you can use this to make a better trading decision. It's all there. Look at the candlestick chart, and can you see any of that kind of market transparency in that candlestick chart? No, you
Exactly.
can't. So this is like, I mean, guys, like, this doesn't happen all the time, but like when you start to understand some of these elements in the order flow, this is a prime example of how it can help you.
I believe, Bruce, that mastering price action and order flow is the key in reading the market.
Yeah, me too. I'm convinced on it. It's just, and it's on all time frames, but that's a whole nother story.
Exactly. So traders, now this is 2020, but if you are part of Small Cap Room or if you are part of Bookmap, you can see the executions. So everything was made before. This is just an explanation of what we did. But now we want to look at the price action in this moment. So let's look what now Tesla is doing. And let's look first of all the levels, right? I need to see over here the bigger picture. One side I have Bookmap. You can see that I have main support 171 now. I'm zooming out and I'm looking for the 170. Then you can see a major support 168, 166, 165, and below. The main liquidity is between 175, 176, 178, 180. So these are the major levels that are playing on our chart. Now, on the break of this 171, where's my next target? 170. We have two main support over here, and this is pretty logic. to main support this area. Then I'm looking that if we break this low, we're going to shift into low volume node scenario on volume profile. The next target is going to be 165, 166, where you see this liquidity on Bookmap. So Bookmap below 170, we can have a straight unwind to this 165, 166. This is based on analysis, okay? Of course, we have to see during the intraday session what is going to be over here, I would say, the legitimacy of these patterns together with the flow. If these will change, what we're going to have, like, if institutional jumps in, news, market, and so on. In this case scenario, I'm looking at the previous day levels as a main guide and as main targets. 165, you can see that we have this narrow consolidation. So this is the low. This will be the 165 that I see on Bookmap over here. 170, we have this main support dip. You can see yesterday was a pretty good level. And we have the main 170 over here. So am I going to long over here in the dip? Just looking at this pattern. Well, Bookmap tells me we have a support, but to long I need also my pattern. So I'm not going to long over here unless I have my pattern. I'm staying with the trend. Trend that was formed today on the break of this level. Now, a lot of traders will tell me, Jay, but this is 2020. Well, 2020, not really. Because over here, I have my system telling me over here that we're going to go short. Jalen's forecasting over here for the unwind. Bookmap useful for timing my entries. And then all the rest was shared while I was doing this live. Main key in reading this is looking also at ES. And now we have an ES that is pretty weak today. We rejected 4090. These were the levels that I had traced this morning. Looking at the hourly, these are the levels. Now I expect 4060 over here, yes. 460, 456 will be the main target. So we have a major fail follow through today. What means fail follow through? It wasn't able to push to this previous high, 4091. We have an unwind, reversal of the market structure, and now simply unwinding to this main target. Okay, we can stay on Tesla over here, simply unwinding good. And we're going to look for possible entries. And let's zoom in over here on Tesla. So we know already 170, 168, and 165, the levels that I'm interested into. For 170 just now, you can see bounce. For me, it's not sufficient to see a bounce over here to get a long. If I don't have my strategy triggering, of course, Bookmap tells me this is a pretty good support, right? It doesn't mean it's going to hold. Just tell me we have liquidity over there. It's a good spot where we have possibly the buyers. Good for them. I'm waiting for my strategy. I'm now only trend following this, right? So we're trend following today. We're still following ES. ES is still unwinding. Reason for me to stay in short on this and holding until I don't have a reverses pattern to get out of the position. Bounce 170.50. and it's just picture perfect. You can see it's just picture perfect. We have the level, we have the pivot, we have over here the bookmap level, all together. Now it's bouncing good. I'm not short, I'm not long, I'm waiting over here in my position.
Yeah, beauty, Joseph.
It's a pretty good bounce. $1 over here, up. So we have support 170. We have a resistance now 172. I'm going to look if we have a bear pattern to short. If you're short traders, this could be a good ad. So we'll see. And back again down from that 171, you can see the fail. A lot of sellers over here. I think we're going to get back to a 170. More liquidity jumped in over here, 170.85. Again, I stick to the main trend if I don't have a reversal scenario, reversal setup, right? So I expect this to see it back at the 170 over here. More buyers came into 170.50. We're breaking the previous relative high, 171.20. Main resistance 172, so I'm not touching over here anything. How would I look to long over here this today? Well, for now, I'm just like short bias because I'm following over here the trend, which is formed by lower highs, lower lows. So we have over here our price section that just forming lower highs, lower lows. So we are in a bearish intraday scenario. Only in the reclaim over here, 172. So this level over here. And a sequence of higher lows, I will start looking for long. For now, we're just looking over here for possible levels. We're too short, enjoying over here the trend. As I said this morning, I was short from the 175 and 70s. Here, add over here short, cover down here, re-add over here short, cover down here and here, and then of course was joined over here bookmap. So I missed this last part over here, the move, but I mean was already done 10:30. It's fine for me to close the morning over here, trading the pre-market, trade the first 2 hours pre-market and the first hour over here after open. This is the price section. Some of you traders will use probably indicators like fractals or zigzag indicators or all of this. And the best way is to do it yourself, like I just did. So annotate on your charts. It's very, very important.
Yeah, beautiful, Joseph.
Thank you, Bruce. At this point, again, retesting that 170.70 previous support, but again, lower highs, lower lows. There's no really main difficulty over here. At the same time, we're managing the position on EBET from the 249s. Now 191, 192. We're staying with the target, as we explained before, down in the 120 and 090. So let's look 1 second at the market, what we're doing today. Meta, less volatility over here. You can see they just pushed and didn't like unwind like Tesla's doing. Amazon, a little bit of sideways action. Yes, we saw before, breakdown. NQ over here, same breakdown. YM over here, breakdown. And then we have our stocks, EBT. Oh, this is a beautiful stuff at 171 and 30s. So EBTT over here, daily resistance, set of lower highs, lower lows. Now we're looking for an unwind, ideally 120s. We're just simply holding this. No reason to panic or get out from a position that is actually working. Let's zoom in the last fraction over here, the move. So it's breaking this high. And right away it's stuffed into. And again, you can see sellers jumping in every single pop, right? Just right now. It tried to push over here, 171 and 24. A big seller joined in. And they're using this level, 171 and 40, 171 and 30 over here, okay? So let's look at this 171 and 04, 05. And bounce from that liquidity. Like a magnet, traders, simply like a magnet. You see that, just like a magnet. Is this a good level to long? No, not yet. I'm staying with the trend, still lower highs, lower lows in the trend of today.
Yeah, Joseph, would love to see a stuff right up above this and a rejection.
Yeah, yeah. Just like now.
Yeah.
You see Bruce really read this pretty good. This is J Slim. It's a pattern that I trade. For who knows me, J Slim. You can see I fake out this move, 171 and 40s. Touched over here, that 171 and 50s. Liquidity, 14,000. Not huge liquidity, but still there. and rejected. Again, I'm not taking short, I'm not entering a position. Just waiting over here. Yes, did the same thing, so confirmation. This is EBT, so high liquidity stacked above.
Yeah, it's a big question. We have FOMC in a
Yeah.
few
So
hours, and it's just going
at
to be
2 o'clock, right, Bruce?
yeah, 2 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking this morning, the news that we had during the day. I can bring it up to seconds. It's always important to know traders, of course. I mean, you don't really care when you trade small caps because they really move and not really looking at what the impact of the news over here. So this is what we have today, 2 o'clock FOMC. And then also today I was looking at, we had the jobs over here. Crude oil inventory is 10:30. So some news. We're getting over here above the previous resistance. Going back to Tesla. Yes, is guiding over here. Tesla.
Yeah, Joseph, just a note. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you earlier. We will have to have a hard stop at 11:30, in about 15 minutes or so. But whenever you're finished, in between now and then, whatever you
Okay.
prefer.
Okay. We can do over here another couple of minutes. Just looking over here at the price section. So over here, I like this price section on Tesla, and I believe we can go back over here to the 172 now. I actually think that has a little bit of legs. Yes, possible now 4075, and Tesla over here possible 172. Nice curl. Tesla got to the 171 and 90. Yes, 472 can get to the 475.
Guys, I put
Here we are.
Joseph's info in the chat if you want to reach out to him directly.
Once I do hit, and yes, I'm gonna probably get to 475. So we have a first resistance over here, 172. Remember, traders, this is the level of resistance we had before. Look at these dips over here. So these dips means that we had a buyer over here, right? So now we could see a seller at this 172. If reclaim instead and consolidates, then this will act as support, and next target gonna be 173 and 50. All right, guys. Bruce, 11:20. Think we can wrap it up over here for the day. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I'm really curious to see if this stuff works out here. I think you got it, but anyway, yeah, look for 170 shortly, I think. But who cares? Like what I think. Anyway, sounds good, Joseph. Thank you. It's great to be back with you. And we'll wrap up. And guys, I put Joseph's contact information in there if you want to reach out to him. He does offer mentorship, and you can check him out there. Please subscribe to the channel and give us a like here. That really helps us. And the James is asking about the SI tool. Okay. All right, James. Yeah, reach out to us in Discord, and we can answer you there. But no, I think that's it, Joseph. Thanks so much.
Perfect, Bruce. Thank you, traders. See you next week. Risk always, have always a risk in place, remember, and take care. Thank you very much.